There are over 10,000 cards in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game. From Pot of Greed to Firewall Dragon, the possibilities are endless. In this series, can your favorite content creators figure out what card I'm thinking of? I've got $100, and they've got 10 questions. It could literally be anything. Welcome to Guess That Card. If you want 5% off any singles or sealed product, click the affiliate links in the description and use code Cimoooooooo5. And clicking the TCG Player affiliate link before you shop helps support us to provide you with more amazing content. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 1 of Guess That Card, where today's guest has the chance to win $100 if they can guess the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card that I am thinking of. And for our first guest, who other than the Season 1 loser of Progression Series himself, the man, the one and only, Mr. Gage Polejack, aka Nib Nib. Gage, how are you doing, buddy?
Great, but thank you for that outstanding introduction. I'm really appreciative of the title, bro. I
had to demoralize you before we actually got started to get you tilted. You know, but you have the chance to win $100. I know that any opportunity you have to win money for free, you would be excited at the opportunity. How you feeling?
Great, man. Honestly, bro. I've got Mind Crush set in the back row. I'm wiping away any thoughts you have. Easily gonna guess it on the first 2 tries. I'm confident.
All right, so I'll quickly run by the rules with you. So for the game, you have 10 yes or no questions that you are allowed to ask to help narrow down what the card could possibly be. You also have the ability to use any of the online platforms to help filter through the cards, because it is any card in the card pool potentially. And so if you guess it by the 10th card, you will win the prize. Are you ready?
I am ready. Let's do it.
Okay, I have the card in mind, so go ahead and ask your first question.
My very first thought process to thinking, I have 10 questions. That's not a lot. Actually,
it's not a lot.
So I have to try to get more specific with every question. The broad ones that I'm thinking about is like, obviously Monster Spell Trap, right? Like I got to figure out what the card is at all to even like start to specify. Let's say I figured out it's a monster, right? Do I have to immediately use my second question, like, is it an extra deck monster? Or like if it's a spell card? I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I guess my very first question will be the simple one. Is it a monster card?
It is a monster card.
Okay, cool. So that takes out any traps, spells, any field spells, equips. That narrows it down a lot, actually. Okay.
It does, but at the same time, it doesn't, because I think there's more monsters than any other type of spell.
Yes, yeah. We cut the pool in half. I'm good with that. Now it's main deck or extra deck, and that would instantly, if I found out it's main or extra, it feels really wrong to be using them so early. Oh, right? Wait. Here's a... no, wait. I was going to say a nice workaround might be asking if it has a level. But
ooh,
yeah, because I mean, okay, say for instance, you say, yes, it has a level. It has to be a fusion, synchro, or an effect monster, or a normal monster. But it can't be an Xseed or a Link.
You're starting to identify some of the strategies of the game.
I am. I'm wondering if that's better than asking if it's just an extra deck monster, though.
Because that narrows down the card pool to a different set of cards.
Yes. Maybe I do both. Maybe I do that my second and third. So if it is an extra deck monster, I can figure out if it's an XYZ or a Link. Thinking down farther in the line, though, I gotta wonder, how do I specify if it is a monster? What kind of effects do I ask for? Okay. Let's do this one next here. Is it a monster with a level?
It is a monster with a level, yes.
Okay, so we're down to fusion, synchro. That's the entirety of it. That's 2 questions, right, Alex?
That's 2 questions. There's still 8 to go, and there's still a long way to go.
All right. Is it a monster that belongs to an archetype?
No.
Okay, that helps a lot. That helps a lot, actually. So now we just know it's a generic dude.
That's a good question.
What does he do, though? What does he do? Asking the level. That's a dangerous one. Because then you just say level 4 and it's still every card in the game. Here's one, actually. All right, is it a DM era monster?
No.
Fuck. Okay, so it still could be anything.
Everything else.
But it's not DM, actually, so it's like GX on. That even makes it even smaller. But it's a monster with a level, so it's a fusion, synchro, or an effect monster. We've already figured that out, but it's anything from GX era on. That's 4 questions down.
Almost halfway, and you still have about 6,000 cards to sift
I know. Oh, my God.
To be fair, though, had you gotten lucky and it was a DM era card, that would have narrowed the card pool down quite a bit.
Oh, yes, that would have made it like instantly super easy. I could easily ask, is it a GX or a 5Ds card? But I'm trying to see if there's a way I can circumvent that.
What's your thought process, buddy? What are you going through?
I honestly don't know. I'm trying to think like what my next step is, because I'm thinking a lot of questions based on like the extra deck. And I'm trying to see if there's like, I can start asking questions based on the effect of the card, because I'm not even there yet. I don't even know what the card is yet still. I don't even know if it's like what type of monster.
Well, of course you don't know the card. The game would be over if you knew the card.
But like I'm trying to see like after I do figure it out if it is a synchro monster, what's the next question after that? Do I ask like, is it a card that draws you cards? Is it a card that pops monsters on the field? Does it protect something? I don't know.
I think that there's so many different unique questions you could ask to start filtering through the different possibilities.
I think so too. I think attack value might even be a big one as well.
That's not a bad idea.
Because most big synchro monsters, big XYZ monsters are all, well, the XYZs I don't have to worry about, but most big monsters would be from the extra deck maybe. So, oh, damn. I was gonna ask, is the monster below level 8? But then you could just be like, no, and then...
Is that a question?
No, it's not a question yet. I'll lock it in when I'm ready, Alex.
Okay. You only have 6 left, so they're very valuable.
I know. Is the monster level 6 or below?
Yes.
Okay, where does that get me? So it's 6
okay, so you currently, it's a monster that has a level. It does not belong to an archetype. It is not a DM era card, and it is level 6 or below. That is 5 questions. You are halfway through. You better make these last 5 count because you still have a long way to go.
I do think I'm doing very, very well though, actually, because now that removes a lot of things. It removes cards like Elemental Heroes. That removes things like the Monarchs even, which was one of my thoughts. But Monarchs are part of an archetype anyways, I guess you could consider. So a lot of the synchros are still on the table. That's what I'm realizing. Goyo, the ones that crossed out were like cards like Stardust Dragon, cards like Red Dragon Archfiend and stuff. Goyo Guardian is still a very possible level 6. I'm 5 questions down. And I still don't know if this is specifically an extra deck card. All right, I'm gonna start looking up some cards here. Let's go to the synchro pool. Let's get a little gander. Okay. So we're looking at 6 or below. I love the fact that I can filter this out. There's 8 pages of synchro monsters at level 6 or below.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. Those are only synchro monsters though. And I have yet to ask the question if it is a synchro monster even.
That is true. It is also, I believe, 20 cards per page if you're looking at dueling books. So if there are 8 pages, that is 160 cards. It still could possibly be.
That's a lot of cards.
And that's just the synchro.
Yeah, that's a lot of cards. Ooh, I could ask the release year. Ooh, I could ask...
In the form of a yes or no question.
Yes, I could say, was this released before? I think I might just have to ask if it's a 5Ds card or the specific type of card. I don't understand the rules of the series, but I don't want to ask this question and like count it as a question. Like I need to know if I ask you if it's an effect monster, is a synchro monster considered an effect monster?
Are you asking this for clarification?
For clarification, yes. So if I said like, is it an effect monster? And then you said yes. If synchro monsters are typically effect monsters, are you gonna just like shaft me and say like, yeah, it's an effect monster? Or
I don't know. You'll have to ask.
Oh, this guy, bro. Oh man. Well, okay, I'll do this. This has got to be this.
There's $100 on the line.
There is
buddy.
a big money. All right. Well, okay. If I get this will significantly reduce the card pool. Is it a synchro monster?
No.
Oh my god, that made it worse for me then. Okay, so I'm off the synchros then. I'm off the synchros. No synchros. Let's go.
It helps you in that regard.
Yeah. Oh my god. Let me look up the level 6 or lower effect monsters in the game.
This whole time you were going down. Is it a synchro? Is it a synchro? And I'm just sitting over here trying to do everything not to just bust out.
Now that I know it's not a synchro, I'm upset now. Okay, so it's got a level. Oh, it could be a pendulum monster too. Oh no! Oh, I thought this made it easier. It didn't. Oh my god. I'm 6 questions in, Alex.
You have 4 questions left. At this point, you know it's a monster with a level that does not belong to an archetype. It is not a DM era card. It's level 6 or below, but it's not a synchro monster.
I totally just wasted a question too, because I could have just asked if it's from the extra deck, and then like that would have rolled out everything if you said no, because if it wasn't a fusion, it wouldn't be there either. Oh, okay, that was a mistake. I can't go back, right?
That is correct. No going back.
$100 on the line, bro.
$100 on the line.
All right, I want to get this. There are so many cards in Yu-Gi-Oh, Alex. Are you sure you thought of that when you made this series?
Maybe you're just not asking the right questions. Maybe that's
maybe I'm not, but I feel like I can't. I feel like I am. I guess there's another thing.
Okay.
No. I was gonna ask if the card was like played in a competitive deck.
I think that's a unique question to ask, though, because that possibly could filter some things.
That does filter a lot because of my knowledge. It's like, what do you consider a competitive deck, though? Like, if I were to go on Yu-Gi-Oh top decks, and I looked up this card, is it guaranteed to be in one of those deck lists?
Clarify that question for you if you wish to ask it.
Okay.
I think if you were to ask that question, I would go by if it was commonly played competitively versus like it saw one top ever.
Okay. Oh, I got another good question too. If it was ever on the Forbidden and Limited list.
That's not a bad one.
Let's do that one. Was this card ever on the Forbidden and Limited list?
No.
Okay. That's 7.
That's your 7th question. You have 3 remaining.
I am not getting this one. Oh, no. So it's never been put on the Forbidden and Limited list. Never has.
Correct.
It's never been that good. And it's a GX, and it's not a DM era card.
I was going to say, it's not a DM era card. You don't know anything about if it's GX or not.
Yeah, not a DM era card.
I'll run through your questions again. It is a monster that has a level, does not belong to an archetype. It is not a DM era card. Level 6 or below. It's not a synchro, and has never been on the FNL list. 3 questions remain.
Okay, I guess naturally I have to ask this question because I'll still never figure it out. Was the card ever played in a competitive deck?
No.
Oh, I'm never gonna get this one. Now I might as well give up here. Oh my god, I could guess like fucking what's on here? Absorbing Kid from the Sky or something, and it'd probably be just as good a guess as anything else. Oh, it's never been played before. I was 8. I have 9 and 10. I don't even know what I don't even know what attribute this card is. Oh,
would you like to ask that in the form of a question?
Yeah, yes or no. Is it a white? Yeah, okay, could be any of the other 5 ones.
But if you get it right, then it really narrows it down.
That's what I'm saying. It's not an archetype card, too.
I actually feel that question narrows out a lot.
It does, but in the same vein, it doesn't, because there's so many cards that are just generic in Yu-Gi-Oh! Too, right?
True.
Like, I would ask something about the anime, but I don't know anything about it, and that's the one that hurts, because I feel like that would also help a lot, too, because there's very certain cards I think that were. The other thought I had, right, well, since I know it's not a DM card, like, the other one, and I wish I would have asked it earlier, is, like, based on release date. Like, if I can narrow it down to, like, after a release date or before a release date, I feel like that helps a lot.
Okay.
It might be too little too late to actually start thinking about that. Like, I don't know if I get any ground from doing it. I might just have to start taking real deep guesses and hope I hit one of them. Like, is it a fairy type or something like that? Like, just...
I will also clarify, your guess of the card is not your 10th question. So you'll get to go, you get 2 more questions, and then you make your guess.
Okay, let's start looking at attributes. I think dark is the most supported attribute in the game. So, like, even if I ask, like, is it a dark monster, and you say yes, but if you say no, I look dumb.
But if you're right.
But if I'm right, I'm like, yo, this, like, reduces at least, like, 120 pages of, like, card results, so...
This is like the Family Guy meme with Peter with the box. But it could be anything. It
could be anything.
It could even be dark.
There's, like, even more, like, tight questions, but they could be easily nothing, too. Like, if I asked, is it a flip effect monster? You know how many... There's not that many flip effect monsters in the game.
But it could be a flip
effect. Oh, that's not even a yes or no question. That would have been a really good one. I was going to ask...
What were you thinking?
I was asking, is it come out in a side set or a main set? I mean, I asked, is it come out...
I was about to say, you could ask that in the form of a yes or no question.
Yes, I guess another one for clarification. Are, like, side sets considered collectible tins and stuff too, or no?
You're still, I don't know how big the card pool still is, but I feel like you have a ways to go.
I've got way too many and like to be able to like float between here. It's not a synchro, right? No, I asked that one.
Correct. It's not a synchro.
I'm just gonna assume it's not a fusion. I'm really gonna just assume it's not a fusion.
It's taking the risks.
I guess I'll ask this one. Was its original release in a side? No, I can't. Damn it. Yes or no question. Was its original release in a main set?
Yes.
Okay. That does a fair amount. Its original release is in a main set.
I feel like that cuts out quite a few.
Yeah.
That was your 9th question. Yes. So you have one final question before you have to submit your guess.
Not competitively viable. It's from a main set.
I'll repeat your questions. It's a monster with a level, does not belong to an archetype. It is not a DM era card. It's level 6 or below. It's not a synchro. Never been on the FNL list. Never played in a competitive deck. Its original release was in a main set.
The one thing I didn't even consider is, Alex, I've been sorting by effect this entire time.
Okay.
It could very well be a vanilla monster. Like, it could very well just be an actual vanilla, and I haven't even considered that.
You did not rule out as to whether or not it was a normal monster or not.
Yeah, I really...
Based off your 9 questions.
I really didn't. Oh my goodness, bro! It could literally be black. No, that's a DM era. Oh my god, it could be. Oh, what could it be, dude?
It could be Insect
It could
Knight.
be Hallow. I don't know. never on the Forbidden Limit list too. It could totally be a vanilla. All right, I guess I'll cut the card pull again by another era. Is it a GX card?
It is a GX card.
Okay, that's my last question. I've got every GX card pretty much in the game that I gotta consider now.
Excellent. All right, so what is your final guess?
You want to run through all my questions again so I can take one more quick look over and see if I can guess something in the realm of possibility?
Sure. So it is a monster that has a level. It does not belong to an archetype. It's not a DM era card. It's level 6 or below. It's not a synchro monster. It has never been on the FNL list. It's never been played in a competitive deck. Its original release was in a main set, and it is a GX card.
Let's go Yu-Gi-Oh! GX sets. We're gonna go set by set. I'm gonna try to see what some of the cards are. So looking at all Lost Millennium cards now from the very top. It's released in a core set. It's level 6 or below. It's not part of an archetype, so it's not an ancient gear. It's never seen competitive play, and it's never been put on a Forbidden Limit list. So cards like Survivor isn't good. Cryosphinx, it could totally be Cryosphinx. It's not part of an archetype. None of these elemental hero cards.
That's correct. You did not clarify whether or not it was a ritual.
Yeah, yep. I forgot about that monster type. There's still a lot of cards that I just didn't check boxes for that I realized. All right, Alex. Realistically, I don't have a good shot of guessing anything in here still. Like that card pool is still way too large. So I'm gonna just take a gimmicky kind of guess here and see if I get it right. All right.
Sure. What is your final answer? Guess that card.
All right.
Gage.
I am guessing that card, based on all the knowledge that I have, is Jerry Beans Man.
No!
No, you would have never have guessed. No.
Gage, I'm a reasonable man, and I like to have some fun. So I'll offer you a deal, okay? I heard you're a man that likes deals.
I do.
I heard you're a man, an art of the deal sort of man over there. I'm willing to sell you additional questions at $10 a question.
$10 a question? Oh man,
would you like to take me up on that offer?
I don't know, maybe I just walk away. What's like my next question if I pay you $10?
Oh no, I'm sorry, you're not paying me $10. $10 is coming off what you would win if you get it correct.
And if I just say no, what, like we end it here?
Then we just end it right here.
All right, well yeah,
I know. I'm sure you and the audience are curious what the card actually is at this point.
I'm very
curious.
This far. Now that we've gotten this far, and you know what, let's keep chugging. Let me find a better question to ask now that I have this, okay?
Sure.
GX era
so
card.
question 11.
GX era card. So it's a fusion or a regular monster. I still don't know if it could be a fusion yet, but it is below level 6. It has never seen competitive play. All right, well, I'm going to have to like filter this out at one point or another. Is it a fusion monster?
No.
Okay. All right.
So those are all gone. And to be fair, GX has a lot of those.
Yes, I knew. I was thumbing through them. I'm like, there's just way too many of them. Like, I'll never be able to figure it out. Never seen competitive play, huh? Oh, I could ask about rarity.
That's a good one.
That is a really. I didn't think of that. Like, if I ask if it's a secret rare, there's not that many secret rares in the GX era.
That's true. That is very true.
Well, if it's a card that's never seen competitive play, I don't expect it to be like a decent rarity.
I don't know, buddy. There's a lot of bad secret rares.
I agree with that one. But like, I have to think it's also specifically a monster too.
You're probably just also kicking yourself too for like ask some of the questions you ask now.
Yeah. Like some of them, I feel like I really think they didn't help me. Like in the long run here, like I probably could have like shortened them to just better questions. All right, well, let's try to shorten it even more. Is the monster a dark type?
Yes.
Okay, well, that's what I was saying before. That reduces it a whole bunch, like a significant amount now.
Like dark is probably the most popular attribute, but you cut out the other 5 attributes.
Yes, that was part of like I needed to get really lucky because if you said no, I'm like, well, there's 5 other attributes I have to pick from.
Exactly.
So okay, that reduces from 228 total cards to 60 pages worth. So we're good.
Fantastic.
We cut it down a lot. And again, most of these are DM era, so I can flip through immediately. Let's go to Lost Millennium here, starting with the end of Anubis. And
that was your 12th question. Cool. So this will be question 13. If you get it right here, because now you have to ask as one of your questions if you want to get it right.
Oh, so now asking counts as one of the questions. All right.
Of course it does. Of course.
Okay. All right.
Because otherwise you would just ask at the end of every question.
Yes, I would. All right, never been a competitive card, huh? I'm already looking. There's a few really good dark monsters. There's like cards like End of Anubis was good. I know that. Darmagmic level 1 is not good, I don't think. Level 3 was a crush card target. Mind on Air. That card's pretty bummy. Oh, Dekoichi. He's playable.
Yeah, Dekoichi's playable.
I think this will really split it up, actually.
Okay.
Is the card... Ooh, actually, hold on. Let me do a little research myself here. We'll say the attack highest is 1900. Oh, that doesn't reduce it by a lot. There's only a few with really large attacks. Try different threshold.
Are you messing with some attack and defense values over
I
there?
am. I'm trying to see what a good middle ground is. I originally tried like 1900, but it turns out there's only like 8 pages of cards that are above 1900 with the dark attribute, and there would be even less like GX monsters in that era. Okay, this should be a pretty good one. Is the attack 1500 or less?
The attack is 1500 or less. Yes.
It is 1500 or less. Okay, cool. So we can go to 15 now. We can sort that down, and we are at how many pages of specifically GX cards?
That was question 13.
Okay. All right, we reduced it even more. I think I'm down to like maybe like I want to say less than like maybe around 10 pages actually of just GX cards now of actual good guesses.
Pretty. If only 20 cards a page, that's only 200 cards.
Yes. Oh wow, no, it's significantly less than I look at it. I flipped 5 pages, Alex, and I'm already at Phantom Darkness.
Wow.
So I shaved down a lot now that I look at it. Huh. Okay, good. This is looking pretty well for me actually.
Now you're probably thinking, damn, if I only asked that on like question 5.
Right? Oh my god. Okay, so we waxed out a whole bunch of them. It's never been playable. It's never been on the Forbidden Limited list. There's so many bad cards too. Like there's cards like what I'm reading, like Hannibal Necromancer, Vengeful Shinobi, Blast Sphere.
Dissing Bandit Keith over there?
Yeah, right? All these cards are very real possibilities. It could be it. Never saw competitive play. That's the big one. That it's crossing out so many of them actually. Like a card.
Yeah, that was a really good question as
like
well.
A card like Necro Gardener or like Necroface or like Phantom of Chaos. Like these are all cards that saw some sort of play at some point. How many flip effects are there so far? I think there's a fair amount of flip effects still under this pool. That would definitely narrow it down to like 3 cards, but I'd have to totally be right.
But you could be.
I could be right. I could be. Hey, you know what we say? It could literally be anything.
It could literally be anything. Yep. That should just be the name of the series. Forget guess that card. It could literally be anything.
I could even ask if it's been on the progression series too. But a lot of the cards from this era, I don't think we've played at all because GX is a really
That's a very unique question too. I like that.
The majority of the dark monsters weird are from Phantom Darkness. So if I can even just like get it down to that, that's like game over. Is this dark monster that we are discussing, is it from Phantom Darkness?
No.
Okay, so I got every set in GX to still think about now. Okay. All right, that's a lot of them though. Actually, that's a huge chunk of them that I don't have to consider anymore from Phantom Darkness.
I would say so. That was question 14. So this is question 15.
Okay, so I can go anything before this page then. What question was that?
That was question 14.
I might get this $50 off you.
Okay. You'd have to get it right now if you want the 50
Okay, I might get this $40 off. I might get this $40. I feel like I gotta ask one more question. I feel like there's gotta be one more really good one in there.
I do feel like you're getting very close.
I can't wait to hear what you're gonna tell me afterwards. You're gonna be like, you should have asked this, and I'm gonna be like, that's probably just the dumbest. Like I should have did that.
I think you're learning as you go. Better questions you could have asked, or questions that you asked later you should have asked earlier, for instance.
Yes. Let's shorten the levels again. Is the monster at or below level 3?
At or below level 3? Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's see how much that removes.
And that was your 15th question.
That cut a lot from it.
So if you get it correct on this guess, you will win $40.
Wow, I'm down to 1 page, Alex. I'm down to 1 page of
Really?
Yes, I'm down to one page. Would you like
page?
me to read off the cards that it could be?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so starting from the Lost Millennium, I think
Okay,
Brainjacker is the one that starts it off. Brainjacker is like a generic 2 that doesn't do anything. You have the Dark Hex Sealed Fusion, Eben Magician Curran. I don't know if that's part of an archetype we'd consider because it has the other girl. Dark Worlds, there's a few of those, but none of those matter because they're part of an archetype. Memory Crusher saw competitive play in the early days, like old school days, because you would use it when your opponent would just stack their extra deck with like a bazillion cards, right? Destiny Heroes don't count either. Neo-Spacians don't count. There's a card like Alien Psychic, but that's an alien monster. DD Crow was competitively viable. Marionette Might is a real one because that card doesn't do anything, and it's a level 3. It fits all the boxes. Plague Wolf is another one. I love Plague Wolf. It could be Plague Wolf. That card has checked all the boxes so far. It can't even be the Chrysalis. There's Chrysalis, like the Neo-Spacians when they're in there, because that's part of an archetype too.
Gravitic Orb.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Yes, the Gravitic Orb. Yes. I only know.
Only people from sealed series know what that card is.
You only know it. You played Battle Pack 1. You know this thing was legit.
That card actually is terrifying. But anyway, we're not here for Sealed Showdown. We're here for Guess That Card. 16th question, buddy. This is your chance to get $40 off of me if you decide to go for a random guess with your 1 page of cards remaining, or you could still ask another question to try and narrow it down even further.
I'm going to go for a guess here. I just want to guess because I love this card and you know I love this card.
Okay.
I can't believe if you pick this one. I'm going to feel so bad it took me this long to get it. Is it Plague Wolf?
Yes!
Oh, it's Plague Wolf! Oh my god! Bro, I looked at this and I really wanted to ask. I'm not even kidding. I was like, is this from Force of the Breaker? Because if you said yes, I'm like, it's easy. That's it, bro. But oh my God. Oh man, it took me long enough. That was
congratulations.
God, that was so hard. What do you? There's a few questions I feel like I asked the wrong thing, but what do you think? Was there one that was like blatantly obvious that I didn't ask that would have helped so much?
Not necessarily. I mean, the thing is, I think you asked some of the better questions, like after you already started losing, like how much you were getting for your prizing. Like, I think if you maybe asked, like if it was like 1,500 or less, or like level 3 or below, or you had like some overlap questions, right?
Yes.
Like you had, is it a GX card versus is it not? Is it a synchro monster? Well, obviously if it's GX, it's not a synchro, but clearly there's way more synchro. So like narrowing that out's a lot bigger. So it's really all in how you ask the questions, right? But yeah, I think it was mainly as you were going, you were learning maybe some better questions to ask to start having, or like even more so narrowing down the card pool even further. And so you got it before you got all the way to the end, because 20 is the absolute end where you get absolutely nothing. So congrats, you won $40 on Guess That Card. How do you feel?
Bro, man, this was difficult. I did not expect it. You said 10 and I'm like, oh, 10 should be like enough, right? And I got 10 questions in and I had half the freaking game still as like a possibility. I feel like you really have to ask the right questions, but like they're few and far between, right? Like, I mean, like, even at the very basics, like you got to go through monster, and if it's not a monster, well, is it a spell? No, it's not a spell. Okay, it's got to be a trap then, right? That's 2 questions down, and you have hundreds, thousands of cards even still in the card. Yeah, this was fun though, man. I think the big one was like taking a lucky stab and guessing it was a dart. Like that reduces the pool by at least like 1/6 of the cards or something like that. It's a huge amount.
And sometimes you get rewarded for taking a risk like that too, because like you said, when you mentioned that dark is the most popular attribute in the game, so even though it's a 1 in 6, there still could be a really high likelihood that that is the case. And as you figured out, I picked a card that you actually are somewhat familiar with. You want to tell the audience quickly our little relationship with Plague Wolf?
Yeah. Back in the day, Plague Wolf, it's never been good, but I've always loved the artwork as a kid. And back in the day, it was a secret rare too, so I really liked how the card looked. It's never been playable, but I love that card so much. Alex, being the great friend he is, one day for my birthday, he sent me a package, and it had like an old school RuneScape keychain in it. And I was like, this is so cool. What a great homie, you know? And then I thought nothing through it, threw away the envelope, and I get a text and he's like, did you see what else was in the envelope? I did not. There was a card nestled in the envelope, and I had to dig it out of the trash can, and it was that nasty Plague Wolf, bro. But yeah.
Oh no, you didn't have to dig it out. It was like, the trash was like already, it was like halfway in the trash. You told me you flipped the whole trash can over.
I flipped the trash can over because I had to find this envelope. I felt like the worst friend on planet Earth after you told me that, dude.
That wolf literally had the plague.
yeah, man, COVID.
Yeah, so I had to figure, I had to give you at least a little bit of help in that department, because if it was just completely blind, you would have had no chance. And I was hoping as you were scrolling, you weren't going to see Plague Wolf and just be like, oh, he probably picked that.
I saw that and I was like, there's no way you made it that easy. Like, I was like, nah.
Well, maybe if you picked it, you would have had $100 out of me instead of 40. But congratulations, buddy. Maybe we'll have to have you on again in the future so you could redeem yourself now that you've played one time. And maybe you'll come up with some better questions and next time be able to take me for 100.
Yes, sir. I'll be studying, man. Get your wallet ready.
All right. And if you want to see any of your favorite content creators on Guess That Card, be sure to let us know down in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching the video, and we will see you next time. So guys, that's going to wrap it up for another video. I really hope you all enjoyed. Let's go ahead and shout the patrons for all of their continued support. So shoutouts to Shoutout1317, Moto, Tim00x3, Cameron Smith, MBT Play Medolce, Chaotic Meatball Part 2, Pony Starks, The Synchro Guy, Dan the Man Hoban, I Ship MBT and Cimo, Draconic Phoenix the Immortal, Jordan Coons, Iron Bladesman, Jesse Wood, Chris Hood, David Liu, Dylan Hunter, Cody Bretz, John Two-Based, Extremely Vulgar Man, Brody Eastwood, Zerius Business, MBT Caught Injecting His Fairy Lily, Carlos DT, Flannel Daddy, Valen Jackson, Hornet, Aren't You Glad I Didn't Say Alpha Tribute Ben 10, TC Gaming, thanks for the sleeve stat, Matthew Brady, Max, Twinkle Muncher, Eater of Crayons, Luabon, Yodabon, Helios 515, Simo's Chaos Cooking Draft, MBT funding the Iris with his Rothschild Wealth, that's his Roth IRA, Simping for Simo, Stolfin Amethyst, Nicholas Carpenter, Simo's Harem of Sexy Yugi Tubers, LGMBTQ, Nim Noodle, Malabranch of the Burning Tunnel, Stella and Zoa Vermilion, Wonder Waffle, James Keen, Skull Servant, and The Wandering Doomed are boyfriends, MBT cancel by all community soon, cancel by all committee soon, cancel by all players soon, not reading cards makes the game interesting, watching and you know it. The MBT in MBT Yu-Gi-Oh! Stands for Morbin Time, The Undertaker versus Cimo and MBT, Dalton, Hunter Reed, Shrug Zyx, The Crystal Beast Enthusiast, ITF, Corvain, Dark Echo, TG Starman, Seamoose Engage, Viso the V, Wacky Waving, Arm Failing, Fable 2 Men selling crudely painted, not so funny plywood cutout folk art, and hatformat.com. Thank you so much for watching the video, and we will see you next time.